I'm Brian Posehn. You may know me from my stand-up comedy or from the TV shows I've been on, like the Sarah Silverman program. I love comic books, metal, and anything nerdy, except furries. They're gross. But that does include Dungeons & Dragons, which I've been playing with the same group of my funny friends for a decade now. So we decided to record us playing the game and turn it into a podcast, and we call it
Nerd Poker. Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends.
Blaine!
Ken!
Sarah!
Sark! Don't forget Gerry!
Hi, everybody. It's Brian Posehn, and you're listening to Nerd Poker, Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends. And Sark.
Oh, man. And a fart sound now? Fuck you guys.
A lot of ampersands in these written bys.
We're short 2 people.
Yep.
Gerry is not here, and Sarah is not here.
Yes.
We think they're having an affair, so we've hired Mannix to tail them.
Mannix.
Real quick donor.
80-year-old reference. That I
He was
got immediately.
He was 8 years old when he was Mannix.
I saw him at some Hollywood collector show like
Mike Connors.
a month ago, yeah.
Really? Still?
Oh, yeah. He looks good, too. He's 100 and 200.
Fuck is Mannix?
100 and 200.
He's old.
Our donor this week, Nicholas Metzo, sent $100 to Earwolf for
Hot
Nerd
diggity
Poker.
ding dong dangle.
Thanks, Nicholas.
Thanks, Nick. Also, we also want
He's
to...
from fucking Sweden. Holy shit.
Awesome.
I've got his address here. I'm not going to say it, but
It's all Swedish.
yeah.
An Italian and
I've
Swedish.
never met a Swedish person I didn't like.
Right?
That,
Yeah.
They're the
Absolutely.
best
It's
people.
true.
Yeah.
We should all be like this.
They're like, it's like they're from Chicago.
but they don't like
Less
sausage as
racist.
much.
And better with the cold.
Thanks, Nicholas.
Yeah, you're awesome, Nicholas. Thanks.
Hey, we also want to thank Mick Jagger, who sent us $100,000. I didn't think he listened to us, but it's weird. Thank you, Sir Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones, for
Thanks,
donating
Mick.
$100,000 to Nerd Poker. It's amazing.
Yes, thanks.
The early stuff was okay.
Who else? Who else donated this week?
We got a posthumous donation from Charles Lindbergh, and he sent this note. Hold on, right here. It said, "I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I swear to God, I didn't do it, even though I did it. Here's $10 million."
Wow.
So $10 million from the estate of Charles Lindbergh. We want to try to make us think that he didn't kill his own baby.
Okay. Is that it?
Anything from the Ramseys?
No, we have a
Oh, man.
we have a hidden camera on the mailbox down there, and we also got a donation, and it's from question mark.
Edward Snowden.
The Riddler?
I don't know, but it has
question?
It has a giant emerald in it that's ticking.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So and there's also a hypnotic spiral. So maybe it is from the Riddler. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, you guys.
What happened last week? Nothing, right? Last week was fucking...
We all woke up in bed with Suzanne Plachette.
And she's dead.
Where's
Yeah.
Gerry?
So,
Where's Gerry, you guys? Where's Gerry?
5-hour energy.
5-hour energy.
ouch.
It'll turn your volume up.
Pump up the volume with energy.
Somebody's sitting in their car in traffic. God damn it, Posehn.
Swerve.
Yeah, they just twitched and crashed into a telephone pole.
There's a bill from the body shop.
5-hour energy.
I see that your next bottle there is berry flavored, which
Yeah, I'm not gonna drink it.
it's making me dry heave.
I bought
just
it in
staring
case
at it.
anybody wanted to join me. But,
It's chuckberry flavored. It tastes like pea.
Yeah, I'll go sip out of the urinal before I take a hit of that berry flavored
yeah,
bullshit.
well, enjoy your...
I'd rather have a sip out of the urinal than a urinal out of the sip. Forget it.
So last week, you guys awoke after your what you thought was a fatal explosion, but you were a little disappointed to find that you were somehow turned into rats.
A little disappointed.
A Stuart little disappointed.
So you guys have all somehow transmorphed into like normal sized. I mean, you're a large rat, but you're a normal sized large rat, and you've been scuttling around the last episode along the floors of the man rat prison that you were freed from by what looked like a disembodied Sir Richard hand. Not sure where Sir Richard is. He wasn't enclosed. He wasn't caged up with you guys, but no sign of Trondor. You got a faint whisper of some type of presence.
Oh, by the way, Mildred is still with us.
Yeah, Mildred is here. I'm role playing her.
playing.
Sarah's just not here tonight. So,
Yes.
and Blackie, you got a faint response when you sent out a mental sort of query for Stargoyle. So there is some sign of existence there, but you've been sort of periodically sending out a shout out, and you haven't heard anything since. So, not sure what Stargoyle's situation is like right now. And we left off specifically. You guys had found you had escaped your prisons with the help of a Sir Richard-esque spirit, and you had been running down this hallway from door to door, cover to cover, just sort of getting the lay of the land, and you discovered a rat trap with some cheese. You had melted the cheese with Bart's dragon rat breath, and we literally,
As you do.
we literally left off right there. You guys covered in just feet of melted nacho cheese,
eating it off
just
of each other.
devouring
Nacho
it.
cheese.
You guys had failed your save versus cheese and had to get that
Only it were
cheese.
blue cheese.
You did find your stuff in one room and another room full of rat prisoners who right now are going berserk at the smell of delicious melted cheese and the sounds of you guys slurping it off your bodies and off your balls, Damien. As I recall, that was where you were at. And that's where we'll pick up.
Super cheese erotic.
Even Mildred, now that who succeeded, who saved against the cheese, even now, doused in it, she can't resist. She's just going in.
Come on, it's cheese. It's the favorite
Come
thing in the
on.
world.
Be a rat for once.
So good, you guys. So good.
Better than heroin.
Yeah. So you guys eat till you're full. That was an ingenious plan.
And we
the
get
melting
all-
of the cheese.
All 47 hit points back?
Oh, is it healing cheese?
We didn't actually cover where you are hit point wise. Each
Cover
of you
that.
is full hit points.
I like
Okay.
that a
yeah,
lot.
you awoke with
Because
full
I was
hit points.
not full hit points.
No, you were
earlier.
absolutely
It was the opposite of
bereft-
full hit
yeah,
points.
So we're
devoid of hit points.
so we're back to normal.
I was dead.
But we're rats.
Yep. Bart, you have a tiny, you have a little dragon scale tail rather than a
Yes,
typical
I
rat tail.
do.
Mildred is a tiny little rat. Her dwarf heritage is showing through there. Damien, you have a glistening black coat, and your middle toes on each of your forward hands have been. It looks like they've been cauterized off.
So you have permanent Dios, bro.
The sword of battle.
And he's also turned into Bane.
And Blackie, you have sharper senses. Your elvish senses have sort of made it through the transformation. So you have a little bit sharper eyesight and hearing than the rest. And just so in case you're just tuning in now, which would be a really weird place to hop into this game, these guys had all spells that were memorized at the time of the blast a couple episodes ago are still there. So you do have sort of one-offs with those,
So, but
except for shield.
Now, if I got to a situation where I could write something down, would I be able to transcribe? Would I be able to write myself a new spell book?
That's a good question, actually.
I mean, I could cast the spell, write it down as I'm casting it, use that as a cast.
I think that's a good question. I'm not even gonna look it up. I'm just gonna make a call here because obviously you can't just crank out scrolls.
But
at will.
But I do know the spells.
You do know the spell.
Scratch them into your belly.
I think
Memento style. A rat covered with spells.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes, but you can't have cast the spell because once you cast the spell, you forget it. Thus, you need to rememorize it. So, if you want to retranscribe it, you'll have to essentially burn the memorization to get it down and then rememorize it.
Yes.
But if you cast it before you write it down, you're gonna have to find it written down somewhere else before you can. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we'll pick up right there. You guys slurp cheese off of your bodies until you're full, just engorged.
Oh,
I'm eating the hair and everything. I don't give a shit.
good. Oh my god.
I ate so much cheese and got so much cheese off of me that I don't even smell like cheese anymore.
Now
I just remembered I'm lactose intolerant.
Now I'm so phlegmy.
We're not going to have to shit for a week.
well, that's true.
But then we're rats, so we'll shit a million times.
Now that we've gotten over you've satiated your cheese fever, we can describe a little bit more of what else is in this room because you guys
sure.
got sort of
Cheese fever, cheese fever. Don't gotta do it.
glancing around this room. You feel your appetite while you're full now. You feel it slip a bit because the rest of this room is disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. You see, there is you can't see. There's like counters. Obviously they're like cliffs to you, so you can't see what's up on top of the counters.
Hey,
but
no.
you see large from where you're at. If you like lever up on your little hind legs, you can just see over the top of what looks like a series of metallic dishes, and piled in them is like meat, some type of raw meat, which is gross. And on one of the dishes, you do see coiled over the side a little rat tail.
Terrific.
But that also is a little unsettling because it implies that there could be some type of
Cannibalism.
animal. It looks
Animalism.
like, yeah, it looks like a dog or a
feeding-
cat bowl, but
Oh.
like huge for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That's worse than what I thought it was. I
Listen-
thought they were feeding the rats to each
They
other.
fight. They fight. They fight and fight and fight.
Right. Let's get out of here. Let's head for that big door.
Okay.
Now that we're full of cheese, we can run like the wind.
All right. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You're moving down the hall. You poke your heads back out and you move down the hall, like making sure that the two guards you saw last episode that were, standing off a ways conversing aren't moving towards you. You see that they're still in position, but they're just hanging out down there. They look like titans that are standing a couple miles off. But you skitter down to the fourth door in this hallway, which leaves only the one at the end now to investigate. Cruising into this door, you see the first thing you see is coiled up in the corner. This room is empty. It stinks.
Jerry.
You see curled up in the corner. It just looks like a wall of fur. So it's like something is curled up in the corner, but it has its back to you. So you just see like a 60-foot
go away
tall
from this.
wall of fur.
Away from it.
The floor is sort of slick with gore and blood.
Wrong room.
If we get killed by
Out
a
of this
cat,
room.
I'm gonna fucking stab
I'm
you.
leaving
with a
already.
pencil.
I'm out of this room.
I can has shit pants.
All right. Yeah, you don't get more than a few feet into this room before you decide to
No, thank you.
Yeah,
We're gonna
you dig your
tiptoe
heels
away
in.
pizzicato string style.
Keeping an eye on it, you run along underneath the door. Also in this room, though, are up on the
3
walls.
Corvettes. Come on, dudes.
Oh, I hope there's no cheese in here.
No, there's shelves that are mounted sloppily to the wall, and hanging from the shelves is like leashes.
That's
and,
great. I don't want to look at any of this anymore.
there's
I want to get out of this room.
All right. Well, I'm just telling you what you see. Now you run under the door. Now you're at the end of this little this little dead end that you guys were trapped in, and you're running to the door that is facing behind you, the prison that you escaped. As you run in there, you see as you scoot in under the door. These are like 12-foot gaps under these doors. You look into this room. This room is dark. So there's no torches, no source of light in here.
What about my elf rat eyes?
Your tiny little elf rat infravision eyes can only see, like 6, 8, 9 a foot into the darkness. So as you sort of cast a glance around, you don't see anything.
Aren't rats though naturally good in the dark? So I would have not only would I would have normal rat in the dark vision, I would also have my heightened elf rat vision.
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to play this how I imagined it. You don't see anything, but your little scrinkly noses like wrinkle up here, and you smell leather and steel.
Gay bar.
But you can't see anything. But you smell. There's some type of equipment, machinery. It's hard to tell.
Armory, guard room.
Leather and steel. We smell.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's break, and then we'll go see Saxon. And we're back.
Saxon was great.
All right.
I'm gonna
So
get
glad I
fisted in
saw
the back
Saxon.
room.
what's the
Party
plan in
back,
this room?
business in the front.
What's the who?
What's the plan in this room? You don't hear
What do we
anything.
see? It's just nothing,
darkness.
just dark and
but
leather and-
you have this unusually sharp sense of smell, and you smell metal and leather.
This is our last room, yeah?
Yeah.
You see anything, Blackie?
No. Can we just sort of like, maybe we should hug the wall, sort of do like a perimeter thing?
Sure.
Because there's really no other choice in this hallway besides this room.
Yeah, and the hallway down where the guards are looks like the only way out as far as you've found so far.
So this will probably be a guard room. If there's a
Do we hear anything?
No. And there's not a torch lit. So
Right.
the room, all your senses say that
closet.
the room is empty. At least as far as something being
Closet
alive
full
in
of leather
here.
and steel.
I'm wondering if it's the chair that we sat in or that our bodies are put in that transmogrified us into rats or whatever.
Interesting.
I would think also that room would be guarded.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's
I
Oh,
just
it might
wanna,
be locked.
even if there's anything like that.
I wanna be a
just
boy
crawled under the
again.
door.
I think Mildred here would say that she's down to explore. She would want to
let's-
poke around.
Let's poke around. Do we try to light something?
Well, we can all sort of smell each other because of our cheese, right?
Yeah, we can totally
So why
smell
don't
each
we?
other.
Do we want to? Let's try to stay in smelling range of each other, and let's sort of set off
I'll
maybe
keep
to.
farting.
You can also hear each other, like the soft, sound of your
Dulcet tones.
Of our foot pads.
foot pads.
Oh, footy pads.
You could light.
That's what I'm
Bart could
saying,
light one of
something.
one of the other guy's tails.
I can also just do a quick
Well, I
blast.
can do produce flame. I was just going to make a fireball and throw it in the air.
Oh, I like
Or,
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because you can.
He can get his spells back.
you can get your spells
from
back.
Judas. As long as he's sort of got conscious thought, you can continue. You can
Yeah.
pray and get your spells back. Yeah.
Okay, so I do that. I
Gonna do produce flame.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And are you gonna throw it at, like, what's the plan with the
I
flame
was
you produce?
gonna wing it towards the middle of the room, up high as I can throw it, just so I can see anything.
Okay. But let me just say, though, before you do that, knowing how big the rooms are, you know that the light you throw is only going to make it like a few feet in.
Right.
But, I mean, you could sort of leapfrog it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys huddle up. You have a little.
Oh yeah. Can I recatch or what can I?
That's a good question. What's the? Is this my? That's my player's handbook
It's
there.
second level. Produce flame.
What
I know it
and that-
lasts for a
and-
little while, but I'm not sure if I can reuse it once I've thrown it.
There's fourth level executive
Because
produce
I can
flame.
throw it at people.
Bright flame, equal in brightness to a torch, springs
can-
forth from the caster's footpad.
And I can throw it at people and burn them, or I can use it as a grenade. If I don't hit a human, I can hit something by them.
So if you throw it, it looks like it flashes and goes out.
Okay.
Or you can hold it,
Yeah, you can just hold it. It doesn't hurt
Okay,
you.
I'm not going to throw it then.
and the duration is 1 round per level. So that's 4. Yeah, you'll have about 4 minutes of light.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to walk around.
So Damien's going to move to point on this with the the headlights.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you cast Produce Flame. The tiny little fire appears in your little tiny 3-fingered hand, and doing like a little like a hitch in your giddy up 3-legged trot. You move forward. You guys see a tiny little spark up here. And are you guys staying on the wall, or are you moving?
Well,
I assume
depending
you
on what
would
we can
stay on the
see
wall,
once
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
So the light springs up, and you just see floor and wall for where you're at right now. But
Okay.
Move towards the smell of steel on leather.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
move together. You guys want to come with me?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
okay, so you smell steel and leather. You sort of have a direction. It's just generally across the room. So then that's moving out across the middle of the room. Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So following the little light, and also assuming there was something in here watching, it would immediately, in this darkness, would have noticed the light, but you don't hear anything. So, you trot out and you attempting to cautiously cover as much ground as you can before the light runs out. You hustle out into the room, and in 5 minutes, moving at rat speed, you can cover a lot of distance. So you cross this room successfully before the light goes out, and you basically run into another wall. Whatever the steel and leather is up above you, out of reach. But here you can smell it more. It just smells like armor, basically. Now you're getting little whiffs of some type of sweat. It's like, this looks like a closet. But
Okay.
when you hit the other end of the wall, you see that this wall has is eroded, and you can see in the sort of some of the bits of almost like crumbled stone, or almost like a drywall kind of. You see little tiny rat footprints. They're normal rat footprints to you guys, but yeah, you see little rat footprints along the edge, and they are running. They are heading, as you hit the wall. They're heading to your right.
If we follow them, maybe it'll lead out.
All right.
So you break right. The light runs for 2 more minutes. Let me see if that's long enough. Yeah, just long enough. So you see on point, Damien. You see at the edge of the range of your little magical torch. You see there's almost like earthquake damage, a crack in the wall that's been widened out, and you see a little bit of like debris that's on the floor. It looks like where something is widened the crack, and the footprints lead into it. And you just see that for a second as your spell ends. So you guys continue sort of that last 50 feet or so, and you do feel like a cool breeze coming through this. It looks like there's a little rat crack here.
Rat crack doodly doo.
All right, crack. All right, crack.
All right. Could we just move along the wall?
Yes.
Into the crack, or
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that's going straight into the back wall. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you move into that.
So that's the door. I'm trying to figure out which way we're facing now. To the side of where the guards were facing, sort of.
No. Okay. So the door that you entered this room is behind you.
Okay.
And the little hall that you cleared extends straight back behind that, and the prison is at the far end of that.
Okay.
So as you enter this,
going away from the prison.
Yeah, as soon as you enter this, exactly, and somewhere off behind you and to the left is the hallway with the guards.
Okay.
So.
That sounds good.
Okay, so you enter this little, like, it just looks, if you hadn't seen the footprints, this would not have jumped out at you at all. But as you move into it, you're sort of comforted all of a sudden because now there's a sense of scale that is more familiar to you. It feels less like you're running through like a land of giants, and now it feels like you're in just a normal hallway. As you get through the first sort of really shitty, intentionally, the entrance is really crappy. As you move in, you can see that it's been carefully carved out with like tiny little tools and claws, and the tunnel becomes circular and just extends straight back. So now you're in what looks like a fairly well excavated rat hole.
So what you're saying is we're at the Hard Rock Cafe, Los Angeles.
It is really dark in here, so you have to rely on Blackie and Mildred's rat infravision and your senses of smell.
We're somewhat heightened, though, even if we didn't have infravision, right?
Yeah. There's just like absence of light in here, though. So, all right. So you move down. You move down this tunnel, keeping an eye out for any options. Sort of just happy to be unexposed.
Yeah.
And you hear up ahead. You hear sort of like it's like a warning, but not threatening. It's sort of like a who goes there. But you hear a voice go, psst, psst, psst. Who's there? Who's there?
Some rats.
Who are you?
We are rats. We've escaped from the prison.
You what? There's a little tiny spark, and then another spark, and then you see what looks like it. It must have been part of like a.
Please don't tell me it's a big thing of gunpowder.
No. You see, in the light of the spark, you see the face of a rat, and he's striking together two like oddly shaped, like flint and steel that is like the size of your head. And he lights like the edge of what looks like a triangular sliver of leather, and he holds up this sort of droopy torch, and he looks at you in the light, and he's like, "My God, how did you get out? How many of you are there?" There's the four of you. Yeah.
Four of us.
Just the four. We have maybe a fifth joining us later, but we're all ready to be seated.
He's parking.
Okay, he's like, How? Did you see anybody else?
There were other rats.
Yes.
We couldn't help them.
There was nothing we could
We
do.
didn't have access to the keys.
We did have an awesome cheese fest, though.
Yeah, he's like, is that? Do you guys have cheese?
Yeah, lick my balls.
It's made by Demeter. They do all kinds of weird scents.
He comes up and he like,
No, I didn't mean. I didn't
oh,
say that.
oh, okay,
That's normal for a rat.
okay. He's a little
It's
bummed
like telling a
out.
dog to lick your balls if you're a dog. Of
Yeah,
course he's
he
gonna lick
sort
your
of
balls.
wants to lick your balls right now, though.
All right, forget I said it.
I kind of think you should let him lick your balls.
All right, lick my balls.
All right, he goes in, man.
Yay!
He's like, "Ooh, that's good. Where'd you get this?"
What the fuck is that?
Mabel, get over here and taste these balls. It's just like Grandma used to dunk.
So how do you play D&D? What do you guys do? How does that game go?
You lick each other's balls.
Oh shit! All right, So yeah, he does like a polite amount, not a weird amount of ball licking. It's a perfectly reasonable.
I snorted right into people's ears.
It's very professional.
Yeah.
The ball lick.
And he pops up
It's like
and
the Japanese bow.
he nods a quick thank you to you, and then it's on to business. He's like, all right. He's like, well,
You're welcome.
now this rat is
You're like the rat Rob Halford.
this rat is it looks like he's seen better days. He's like, his fur is patched, and he's actually smaller, which leads you to believe that he was probably a dwarf at one point. He says, he's like, when did you guys get bitten? What happened? Where did you guys get caught?
We don't really know.
He's like, yeah, a little,
Were you a former human too?
He's like, he scoffs at it. He's
Or a
like, I was a
dwarf.
dwarf. I was a dwarf.
Well, you know what we mean.
Many of us.
You are not rat.
Our friend right here.
Yeah, he's like, wait, you were a human? Who are you? What are you doing down here? How did you get here? He's like just bubbling out.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
I'm a human priest.
He's like looking at you in his little stick torch light, and he's marveling. He's like, what about you guys?
Well, how did you get here?
He's like, I was working in the mines down here when those fucking assholes took over. He's like, yeah, we uncovered the first of the man rats, and the plague spread like wildfire through all the mine workers. It's like, all it takes is if they break the skin, you're done.
Is there a antidote?
He laughs and he just shakes his head, and he's like, if you could call it that. He's like, there's a...
You guys' lights just went out. Or they just went back on.
5-hour energy.
Oh, shit. My back is to this window. Now you're freaking me out.
No,
'cause I
it
can't
definitely
see it.
Ken saw it. I saw his eyes.
Yeah?
The light went out and came back
God.
on.
Hey, everybody wave at that little girl with the blood coming out of her eyes. Hey, how you doing, honey? Oh, she's right in front of me now.
I'm not going to look. I'm not going to look.
Ah, that was weird. Oh, it's a GIF. She's so adorable off in the distance. Ah, she's right in front of me.
Jesus Christ.
Was that a jump scare? Oh, my God.
I always fall for that.
Wow. Well, apologies to your ears.
Yeah. This is a loud one.
Yeah, it is. Where were we?
You were telling us about the bitten and
There was a
the
terrifying
antidote.
little girl.
You asked about an antidote, and he said, he's like, if you can call it that. He's like, no, this is no. He's like, this is no poison, my friends. This is dark magic.
how
Oh, magic. All right. Okay, cool.
many, are you alone here?
He's like, I was afraid I was going to be for a while, but there's a few of us that have managed to make their way in here. He's like, I'll take you to the rest. Have you seen a one of those fucking assholes that wears a robe?
Yeah.
Everyone refers to him with reverence.
Yeah.
He's like, that's your antidote. He's like, this is the source of our curse, and he's the source of their curse.
We kill him, the curse is lifted, or what?
He shakes his head and shrugs with his little tiny dwarf rat shoulders.
But he's the one that turns people and
Yeah. Well, he says, no. He's like, any of them can turn people.
for the bite.
But they got that ability from
Him.
Yeah.
The rat
Reportedly,
king. The
he's
rat
like,
man
supposedly
king.
that's the story. We don't have any confirmation of that.
I have a Sark question.
Okay.
Can I use spellcraft and make my own black magic, like reversal of this? Using my magic and using my priest.
What level
And
spellcraft?
It's one of my proficiencies.
Oh,
It's
that's
not-
right. This is the non-weapon proficiency.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to look that up. I don't think that's how... I think spellcraft lets you identify the nature of a spell rather than unwind it, but I'll look right now. You guys want to talk about berry-flavored nonsense?
No, but have you seen Curse of Chucky?
No.
Did you ever like Child's Play?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
like the first one and the second one when they were
I
actually...
like the when they were
Do you like the funny
goofy.
ones?
Yeah,
Or
I'm
really?
fine.
I don't love those. Some of the jokes hit, but others... but Curse of Chucky is like
Old
scary
school?
again.
Yeah, okay. I
And
like that.
it's real low budge because it like takes place only in there's one set. You know, they never leave
Sorry.
the set really, but it's fucking good. I had it recommended by a friend, and it was one of those things where I was like, "Yeah, we'll see," and then I checked it out, and I really liked it.
Is it CG or is he a puppet?
Oh, there's a bunch of it's a couple
Bunch of
puppets.
different- okay,
yeah,
cool.
and then there's also a little person in a suit, which
Awesome.
is fucking terrifying.
but that's that's a custom-tailored Brian fear right there.
Yeah, that's a thing of mine.
You
I
must
gotta
have
work-
hated Honey, I Blew Up the Baby.
What,
Because there's the double dressed as their kid walking around the house.
No, not that.
Okay.
Not that much. No, it's Chucky. It's because I've
Specifically
been at
Chucky.
like Universal, or I've been
Yeah.
on the street and had a little person dressed as Chucky come
Who
at me,
hasn't?
and I kind of want to kick them into the Hollywood Boulevard. Like they fucking terrified
Oh, there was
me.
I think 2 Halloweens ago, there was a little, like a 9-year-old kid dressed as Chucky, scaring the fucking shit out of people just by standing still, and then as soon as they would come up, he'd just go, bah! And he was having a ball.
I might knee a
I'm glad
9-year-old
you weren't
kid
there.
in his face.
There was
Like,
there was there was little I don't know if it was a kid or a little person, but there was tiny Chuckies at Halloween Horror Nights too
Yeah.
in one of the houses.
That's my least
a bunch
favorite
of 'em.
part. Yeah, because one of those houses I went into a couple years ago, and there were several.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Chuck E. Cheese room where it's just nothing but Chuckies and
He
cheese?
rushed out of one of the side rooms
Yeah.
at us, and I
It's the
fear
classic
farted.
Monsters maze.
Like I did like a little fart in that room. I felt bad for everyone behind me.
I'm amazed they don't get kicked in the face, or
Yeah.
or
They
with
do.
the people
It
that go to
happens.
Universal stabbed like by some of the people that go there.
But it happens, and then
Yeah.
you get kicked out
Right.
away because they want to protect these people.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mrs. Sark has punched one of them before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend
And
of
then he
mine
came
hit
after
somebody.
her.
Your wife punched. Not
Yeah,
a little
it was
person.
just years and years
It's-
ago
you can't help it.
at Not Scary when they run, not in the houses, but they have the guys on the knee pads
Run and
that
slides.
run and slide,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they've got the cans.
Yeah.
So one of them came out of the dry ice smoke, and she just decked him in the face. And in this really teenage Hispanic voice, he shouted, "No striking the performers!" And then he ran away, apparently to tell somebody. But I was like, "You can't hit.
She was a little kid.
Don't hit the werewolves, honey."
Sometimes you can't help it. You're just scared.
I got a
Hispanic teenage werewolf.
I got a spellcraft. So spellcraft it gives you information on a spell being cast that you can see being cast. So this one, since you didn't see the spell being woven, you don't have too much intel from spellcraft. But if you can get to where you can see Robes doing his thing, that will be something that comes in handy, though.
Fucking Robes. I hate Robes more than the guy with the keys in E.T.
Well, I continue to pray to Judas.
Okay.
That, I find some way of reversing this.
Okay, cool. And you are. This rat introduces himself as Ting. His name is Ting.
Oh, dang.
He's like, follow me if you guys want. He's like, I'll take you back to the others. We don't have a lot of food. He's like, but we can.
That's okay.
He's
We're
like, it
stuffed.
doesn't sound like you
Yeah.
need any food.
I still
Yeah.
have some cheese in my folds.
He's like, hunger is there. As he's walking, that just sunk in with how gross that was to me. As he's walking, he sort of talks and he explains to you. He's like, hunger is their weapon. He's like, have you on your way down here? Did you see any rats that seemed like insane and were they would eat each other or eat anything?
Thankfully, no. We did not see any of
That
those
sounds
rats.
terrible.
Well, no, you did. Let me just correct you.
Okay.
Remember, they were eating your surfboard, your dwarven surfboard. There's a
Oh,
pool of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Oh, before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before the problem.
Before the change.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Boom, boom.
Three episodes ago, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so you did see, but he goes on to
right.
explain, like, he's like, they starve us. He's like, I don't know if it's just starvation or if there's another layer of magic, but it's not bad enough that they turn you into a rat. They turn you into an animal, like a mindless, cannibalistic animal. He's like, I've seen families transformed into rats that then are starved until one by one they consume each other.
Here we go again. He's mentally ill.
I've seen things you wouldn't believe.
Time to die.
So,
Andy Dick on fire off the shoulder of Orion.
Turn it up! Why am I on fire? Can I make out with fire, you guys?
I think there'll be lots of
I'm gonna
time, like
figure-
tears and rain.
I'm gonna finger fuck this fire. What the hell? That's Andy Dick on fire.
all right. Is there anything? He continues to tell you. He paints a picture of the sort of the mining operation down here having
So he's an artist, you're saying?
uncovered like a nest, sort of these things that had then bitten, and from there the bites had sort of spread.
So that you get bitten by the crazy ones?
No, he says you get bitten by the man rats, and you change into a normal rat, but and you guys do not have the power to change anything. Once you're a rat, you're just a rat. But he's like, they attempted to sort of experiment and figure out what the nature of their lycanthropy, I guess, their ratanthropy was. And it kept sort of going haywire until eventually it Jurassic Parked and these things broke out. They found more. Some of the ones that they had initially uncovered on the sly had excavated more nests, and pretty soon they were either killed by man rats or changed into rats and had to flee or were devoured by their friends and
Well, at
family.
least they're not harvesting souls.
That's outside.
Yeah, he's like, but he continued. He wants to know too what you guys were doing. He's like, what were you guys coming down here to help us?
I wish I knew at this point.
I think we were trying to get Russell Brand to the
We
Greek.
woke up on a ship.
Oh God, here we go. 24 hours later, he's caught up on the story so far.
Okay. You would have liked Sir Richard.
Yeah, dwarves and dwarf rats probably as well. Loved Sir Richard.
Do you like to drink?
He's like, oh God. I love drinking cheese.
Hey,
I just
balls.
love
Do
cheese.
you like,
He's like,
especially
fat
ball
religious
cheese.
guys who like to drink?
so you guys converse with Ting as you guys make your way through this sort of web of tunnels. You're not passing through any areas now that are normal person sized. You're in this labyrinth of actual rat tunnels, and you're eventually the tunnel he leads you to opens up into to scale a large chamber, and there's a handful of rats that look up there as you enter, and a couple of them gasp, and one of them's like, "Ting, who is this? What is? Are they? Are the prisoners being freed? How did they escape?" There's this buzz of questions that sort of ripples through the room, and some more rats spill out of a couple holes, and they popping in. You guys are sort of celebs at the moment. if there was camera flash bulbs, they would be popping. But everyone's asking you essentially the same questions about, is there anybody else? Most of them, it sounds like, are looking for relatives or friends. But Ting explains sort of, he becomes sort of your escort, and he's like, explains briefly to them what's going on. But
if you can lead us to their magic user, the man with the robes, then maybe we can help free your friends, right?
Well, we have to go back to that terrible place if we want to do that.
Which terrible place?
The prison where we saw him.
Right. But if they know exactly where he is...
Yeah, if there's a better
Are
place.
there any... do you have any sort of access to the different rooms with tunnels, or is this the only place?
He says, we don't have... he's like, I can't believe you actually found this entrance, but we don't have entrances into any of the other rooms, like down this hall. We've been working on some, but they're, it's very slow going. He's like, most of our effort has just been concentrated on gathering supplies so that we don't eat each other.
Hey, what's behind the magic curtain that those two guys are guarding at the end of the hallway?
So down, he says down that hallway. He's like, I feel like it's been forever. But if I remember right, down that hallway is you're taken to basically like City Hall is it Vex? What was hold on, let me look at my notes here.
The Man Rat City Hall?
Yeah. So you're now in the town. Iliktuk. Now I'm looking. Oh, Breck. That's right. I'm getting all my villages. So this is he explains that'll take you to like the town center, and you're sort of in the jail side of City Hall of Breck. So that gives you guys a little bit of an idea of where you're at. You're like right in the middle of the town that you guys skirted around a while back.
Okay.
And he apologizes. He's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't explain that." And he's like, "I figured you guys knew where you were, but." He's like, "Yeah, so down there." He's like, he says, and he says that Robes is named Gore. He says,
What do you fit the internet? You got Oscar and Nobel Prize, to fit global warming. That Gore?
Yep, that one, but without an E. Yeah, he
Without
says
any tricorner hats.
He says he's like their shaman, their leader Gore. He's got to be in this compound somewhere, but none of us have ventured past the hall. He says we have openings that we found an opening that empties out into that hallway past the guards, but no one's been out there. That was just a pre-existing crack that we dug through sort of accidentally, but none of us have gone out there because that's heavily foot trafficked area. But he's like, if you wanted to get out that way, that would be, he's like, you'd be braver than we are, but we could get you out there.
We saw something in a room full of leashes. It was a big furry thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tom.
Imagine as a cat or...
He loves lasagna and hates Mondays.
He shudders, and a couple of the other rats, give little scared titters, and he's like, that's Gnasher. He's like, there's guards outside of the of the
it's
cage.
a reindeer?
He's like, there's guards outside of the cages, but the real guard is Gnasher. We're not sure if he's just a dog or if there's some weird twisting of his body, but there's at least part of him that seems to be a dog. But Nasher has killed more of us than any number of the man rats
He
have.
sleeps sometimes. We saw him sleeping.
Yeah.
He's like, you went into his room.
Look, we didn't know where we were going.
We're new to this whole thinking we died and waking up as a rat thing.
But I don't mind the idea of going back and killing him in his sleep.
Yeah. You don't have any a doctor or anybody among you.
He's like, we do. We have. There's a couple of us that once were practitioners of the healing arts. He's like, are you injured?
What about the hurting arts? Anybody could create some sort of poison we could give to Nasher?
He says, he's like, that's interesting. He's like, we have. He's like, we could ask. I know someone we could ask.
Poison Jimmy. He loves poisoning stuff.
It's not something we've ever tried, just because none of us have wanted to even get close, even within eye line of Nasher. But he's like, I do have somebody I could ask.
It's
it could be worth asking.
His ass.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. We've got some great news. Topics with longtime friends and creative comedic collaborators Michael Ian Black and Michael Showalter joined our ranks February 11th. Topics tackles some of mankind's most difficult questions. What is the nature of love? Is time travel possible? Does God exist? And so many more. As if the promise of the Kings of Comedy, MIB and Showalter, wasn't enough, the show will also have original music by Dan Deacon. Dan Deacon, king of excellent vibes. You're going to love this show. Find out more at earwolf.com/topics. And we're back. That was a hell of a break.
Yeah.
God, whew.
Welcome back, Blaine.
Thanks. My dreams are my ticket out, guys.
Are we still rats?
Yep.
Fuck. Rats, lay down flat.
You were. There was a little village meeting going on here with all the tiny little dwarf rats. They had just told you about Nasher, the hybrid with what you're not sure, but
and Donner
the hybrid
and Blitzen.
dog.
Nasher.
And Damien, you'd considered poisoning.
Yes.
And they said there's somebody they could ask about that. They're like, what? But they, with your, up until the point that you had asked that, the vibe had been that you were, sort of joining them and you are now part of their survival group. But upon asking that, they started to realize that you guys might be actually something a little more, and you might be looking for retribution and a way out, and you start getting questions like, so what's your plan? What are you going to do? He's like, you're not going to fight, are you?
I think we probably are.
We kind of have to.
Yeah. There'll be some fighting.
There's some angry rat voices in the back that are like, "You'll bring the wrath down upon us all."
Not if we win.
How are you going to win against the Nasher? Yeah, how are you going to win against the Nasher?
Poison him, and then
Kill him in his sleep.
kill him, and then poison him again.
We need to get Nasher out of the way so we can do other stuff.
Couple of them, just throw up their tiny little foot pads and roll away. A couple are like, try and talk you out of it. And then a couple sort of seem like they're hyped by your Bill Pullman Independence Day president speech here.
Yeah.
We will not go quietly into the night.
Yeah, do what you want. We only need the heroic ones among you. We only need the ones with balls among you.
The ones in that giant weird sack that drags behind your butt when you walk. Freaks out my daughter.
A couple of them instinctively lick their balls, just like
Checking
you
for
reminded
cheese.
them. Yeah, you reminded them that they were there.
Oh
Could
yeah,
be
my
like,
giant
I
balls
have
and the
balls.
ability to lick them.
But a couple, you weed out a few. There's a handful that sort of come forward. They're like, we'll help you.
Did you ever see Pompoko?
What? No.
Pompoko. I think it's Misaki. The guy that does
Tampopo?
No, it's
Miyazaki,
Pompoko,
the
yeah,
anime.
Miyazaki, yeah.
Okay, no.
I did a voice in it, but it's raccoons with giant balls.
Hold on, how do you spell it? I'm
Wait,
gonna
not
look it up.
Totoro.
No, it's Pompoko.
Oh.
P-O-M.
P-O-K-O.
P-O-C-O-K-O. Okay.
Yeah.
His new movie is a fucking bummer.
Oh, is it?
Oh my god. Don't take a kid to that movie. It's
Yeah.
going to be bored and sad.
He liked one of them.
It's a gritty reboot of Old
Good
Yeller.
ones.
Yeah.
It's about it's just World War II basically, and a bunch of people dying constantly, and
How'd that work out for them? Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
All right.
All right, good hustle out there, everybody.
Balls. Rat balls.
Yeah.
Wait, poison, rat balls, dog thing,
Yeah. Okay. So,
sharp, something poisonous.
yeah.
Something borrowed.
Tink asks. He's like, are you guys? Should I take you to wait? What was his name? Bruce. B-R-U-S. Bruce. He's like, should I take you to Bruce now? Bruce was an apothecary.
Yeah.
He would be who I would ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he sort of waves everyone off, even your more avid fans, and he marches you guys down. He's like, we'll sort that out later, but let's go talk right now to Bruce. And he
The
walks
apothecary.
the apothecary. He walks you down through some more tunnels. You eventually arrive at there's no doors or anything. It's just little like you're walking by little rat houses that are just covered in like shredded dust and bits of cloth, and
Is there rat shit everywhere? By the way?
rat shit is everywhere. Yeah,
That fucking
but it
pig.
doesn't stink though.
No, not to us. We're rats.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Well, it doesn't smell. It's just not. It's not anything. It's just rat shit.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of. It's like a garage that's full of like summer shit in the winter.
It's
but
like there was an
instead of boats and then life vests, it's rat shit.
It's like a big barrel of chocolate macaroni and cheese exploded about a month ago.
That's nasty. Now that's gross. Yeah, he takes you down. There's no doors or anything, and eventually you arrive at one. And he sort of scratches his claws on the edge to announce his arrival. And inside there's an old white rat who's got like cataracts over his eyes.
Splinter.
And Tink says he's like, Bruce, I have some visitors here. And you see Bruce's, he sort of like sits sideways up, almost like Jabba, kind of. He's laying down, and he wrinkles his nose. He's like,
Yes, it's cheese.
yeah.
Yes, you can lick his
He's
balls.
like, do you have some more? He's like, do you have
Check
have
his balls.
any
He's got a lot on
cheese?
his balls.
Not anymore.
There's a little bit under his tail too, if you want to check there.
He's like, let me have a little sniffle.
That's fucking gross.
He's just waiting though.
Whoever's got cheese on him, let him at it.
I distinctly remember saying I was glisteningly clean.
Yep. Yeah. Blackie doesn't have any cheese.
I'm sure
on
I
him.
probably have
I'm
cheese
pretty
on
clean
me.
at this
All
point.
right.
Between myself
I'm sure
and
there's some cheese under my scales.
All right. Yeah, so you turn, and he it's nothing weird.
No.
He just licks right around your asshole.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys. I don't know what your guys' problem is, but
how hard do you come?
Now that would be rude.
and then you all think it's more cheese. White cheese.
All right, so he gets just a couple. He just gets a couple little doses, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." He's like, "I don't recognize your smell," but he's like, I smell.
Bill Cosby or
He's like, I smell an elf. I smell a dwarf and I smell a human. He's like, fascinating. Mm-hmm. He gets briefed by Tink on the stuff that you shared, and you had something or no? Okay, and then
on the next, Bruce,
I got what I wanted.
Which, by the way, we'll just say that cleans out your whole cheese scent. You guys are clear now. You won't have to offer up your...
Good.
But it wasn't even gross to you.
No.
As soon as you took the plunge, it just was actually, you felt real generous, like you'd given a hobo like a $5.
Yeah, I'm going to do that after the podcast, actually. I'm going to hobo lick my butthole.
That's exactly what happened to Anne Heche.
It's going to be hard to do that on the freeway. I might have to get out of my car.
Hello, friend. Put down your bindle stick and take a lick.
What is that, Gouda?
So Tink explains to Bruce, he's like, these fine adventurers wanted to enlist your knowledge of powders and potions to see if there was anything that could inflict damage onto the Gnasher. And Bruce, he laughs sort of quietly, and he says, he's like, I can make a little something that'll disagree with that bastard, but who's gonna deliver it?
Don't worry about it.
He's like, he's like, the Gnasher's hide is too thick for any injections. He's like, this will have to be fed to it.
We can get into this food.
All right. He's like, I like your moxie.
We saw his bowl, right? Didn't we see his bowl?
Yeah.
He's like, this is gonna be my biggest order in years. He's like, come talk to me again in 2 days.
Jesus.
Oh, man. Fast forward.
If you want, or I wasn't sure if you guys wanted to do any recon in the meantime.
Let's see what's the extent of this village.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and then you guys just poke around. Then you've got 2 days to burn.
Yeah,
so.
and if it we're all healed.
Yeah,
we can rest.
I'm gonna try to find like an arts district.
Oh.
See if I can hit an open mic and play a couple of tunes.
All right.
I want to get some vinyl.
Some Hopi art.
Do they have any rat?
Or poison?
No, just rat.
Okay, so
Jesus Jones.
Yeah, Tink takes you out of Bruce's. Bruce has already, started with his little claw, started clawing just unreadable notes on the walls of his hole. And Tink's like, he's like, I'll take you to, tonight. He's like, tonight, let us entertain you. He's like, this
again.
Oh, man.
I love that that's the response now.
You had to be there. We used to be people, and we had to fight a monster. It was crazy.
It was his dwarven crew, though, that threw the weird party for you. So he takes you down. He's like, you guys aren't hungry? Do you, what would you like? Do you want?
We can't take your food. You people are undersupplied.
He's like, do you want women?
What?
And he's like, I can make arrangements.
I'm not going to fuck a rat.
Because then you would be a rat fuck.
I think Mildred at this point is just shaking her head too. She's like, she doesn't like. She wants to like kick his ass actually. Cause,
yeah, I'm okay too.
He's like, all right, boys. No.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
boys.
All right, little rat boys. Okay, so he takes you away. He's like, I'll show you guys where you can hole up, and he's like, feel free to roam around, explore. Ask anyone for me, and I can help you guys out. And he takes you around to a little place that's filled with like like it's like bedded with like dust and rat hair and a couple pieces of straw and some torn up fabric, but it's very comfortable. So
Close to the ice machine.
yeah, and he bids you guys have a good evening. You're not sure what makes it evening or if how they keep track of the time, but he bids you good evening and he heads off and leaves you guys to explore if you want, which probably wraps this episode up nicely. I think.
Yeah.
I would think
Want to
we should.
explore first or just call it?
I think we should maybe call it. Get some rat sleep. It's probably going to be hard to sleep because it's our first day of being aware of the fact that we've been turned into rats. So there's going to be a lot of lying in the hotel rags, staring at the ceiling.
Just don't take a cat nap, you guys.
Oh my God.
Your Bruce Willis is getting worse.
Whoever that is, I hate. Blaine.
I'm not appearing anywhere, but I'm still,
You're
as
writing
always,
on a
writing
funny show.
at midnight.
Yeah, watch at midnight.
It's so much fun.
Yep. I don't have anything this coming week, but if you live in Hawaii, you're awesome. And then I agree. I will be there the 28th to perform. I'll
Really?
be there the 27th.
Fellatio.
That's cool.
To swim with my family, and the 29th to get some shrimp, and the 30th walk around and buy things, and 31st do some other stuff. But the 28th,
You're on the clock.
yes, I will be performing comedy at Republic in Honolulu.
You're actually one of the top Don Ho impersonators in the world. Not a lot
Yeah,
of
people don't know that. Yeah, people don't know that. Tiny. No.
Don't save it. Don't give him the milk.
I do a parody. I'm the Weird Al of Don Ho impersonators.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's your
Tiny Butthole. This is my first song. A little dirtier than Weird Al. Because, I don't know, mainlanders, the tourists come over here and they want to hear something dirty.
Hey, man, they're all over it. They're all over 21, right?
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Mahalo.
Shakas.
Don't you hate it when that other guy says that?
This has been an Earwolf Media production. Executive producers Jeff Ulrich and Scott Ackerman. For more information, visit earwolf.com.
earwolfradio.com